Hello, everybody, and welcome to the opening of the CLIQ FX company. And here we are having our first webinar. My name is Olga. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you online. And we are glad to see every one of you. You can meet us on Wednesday, the same time, the same place, every week. From our side, we make sure that we always have new information, very interesting for you. And the topics of our information you can check on the site of the company and maybe choose the suitable one for you. So every Wednesday, this time, the same place, we will please you with helpful information for trading. And make sure that the process of trading for you will be enjoyable and let me say enjoyable time spending and money making. Okay, as it's our start today, that's why we will talk about Forex. What is Forex? What is Forex like business? How to invest? How money to expect from it? And I think it will be very helpful and interesting for those people who actually making their first steps in this sphere. So I would also to mention that as we are live, so you have an opportunity, a chance to ask us questions, and we will be very glad to answer them. So also take part in our conversation, and I hope it would be enjoyable for both of us. Okay, so let's start. I would like to say that Forex, actually, it's a very serious business. That's it. We can make a full stop on this. And actually, if you would like to know answer, what is Forex? You're lucky because they will be, sorry, it's our first time. So today, I will give you a proof that it's a serious business after all. And you will find out the basic concepts and goals and functions. So how this actually market works and how does it bring us profit? I will tell you about everything easy words, so everybody will understand me 100%. And as at our start, as I have mentioned, maybe it will be very helpful for people who actually, the beginners or novice traders. So let's start with Forex. Here we go. Forex, it's derived from English word two words, foreign exchange. It's a monitor, it's an international monetary market. This is a normal reduction, everybody got used to it. And these days, it's a profession, it's a business, it's a whole industry. Any bank, investment company, organization, different institution, financial, are involved in this business. And moreover, they are not only involved, they actually make profit on this business. If you ever, of course, everybody's watching TV, so if you ever turned on TV, you would see the TV presenters with their nice faces, nice smiles, solemnly reporting you the exchange rates. The ratio, for example, of US dollar against euro, or any different currency, or ratio for the goods, products, commodities, or metals. And actually, these courses are established on currency trading, that is Forex. So everything is clear about this word Forex. Let's move on. What is Forex markets? It's a currency exchange. Exchange, it's a place where actually the process of trading is done. So people who do this job, this work, they are traders. And the process of trading is called trading. And also we have different types of trading. And recently it's more important to mention that online trading is getting the first place. Actually, we are living in the 21st century, so everybody's got an internet connection. So why online trading is so popular? because actually it's the same process as the physical trading. For example, if you go to stock exchange, make trading. But online trading has its own advantages, which are you don't have to be physically present on stock exchange. Actually, you connect to it via internet and internet connection. All the companies that provide access to trading process, to trading access, they are oriented on the wide audience and, of course, internet users. So they are actually interested in us. And why do we need exchange trading? What's the concept of it? The main purpose actually is the fair market determination of the prices, of the exchange rates. The exchange rates are very important for the interaction between the countries. Different calculations, or, for example, businesses, and calculation of the volumes and money involved. These courses and ratios are not taken from the ceiling. Actually, they're very set. And they're not taken from the ceiling and calculated by some, officer or business manager in a suit. No, actually, they're closely connected with the market situation, the whole world, and the present moment. And in addition to these major goals, the trading is used simply, actually, for the profit. You can make good money trading on these differences, on the currency ratios, on the difference of the different rates. So we highlighted that Forex trading is business. What are the differences and similarities of the business like Forex and the others? Let's find out. Give me a second. Okay. So, in other spheres of business, actually before starting and launching, you find a certain goods or product, you find a certain market. If you don't have product, you produce it, or you build it, or whatever you do, and you make sure that market or market niche in which you are going to trade or sell your good is actually liquid or relevant. And you analyze the market, and only then you can launch your actual business. Of course, you need to get necessary skills, knowledge, you need to develop product, and then you can make money on it. What happens in Forex? It's quite different because actually it has some advantages, and it doesn't depend on the physical place. As I said, we have mentioned it's online, and the business has existed. Forex, has existed long ago. It's very liquid, so you don't have this headache if your product is going to be sold or not. Also, our product is money and commodity, and these things are always relevant. It means that it's a constant, already made business for you. You don't have to build or produce, develop, invent a product. It already exists. And the only thing you need to get a profit is to try harder. Like in any other business, like in everything you do actually. Well, if you want to get or achieve good results, we have to try harder. We have to get necessary skills and knowledge, and we get to work actually, what is more important. Any businesses require from you to be maybe patient, focused, loyal to your work, to your passion, hardworking, strong, totally control yourself, and actually follow your plans. It's a source, it's a key of success in any business, and Forex, it's not an exception. Okay, so let's look at Forex as business. one of the biggest mistakes made by the beginners or novice traders that they do not see the trading actually as a business. Most of them consider trading like being, in the casino, sitting in front of TV or in front of slot machine, a little bit drunken, maybe having fun, and make guessing, right, wrong. Okay, actually, on the contrary, in this business, you just need to be very calm and prudent. And anyone who wants to succeed in trading has to understand that Forex trading is a business, real business, and take it seriously. And only in this case, you will stay here for a long time, which I wish for you. Like any other business, trading is impossible without costs. It's not the topic that everybody wants to discuss, but nevertheless, your goal is to make profitable transactions or trades enough, big enough, high enough to exceed costs and get net profit. If you can do it, then you will be able to achieve an excellent result. Let's find out what costs or expenses are going to be while trading Forex and commodity. As I mentioned before, like in other businesses, trading requires some costs. You have to be ready for it. The trader will have either winning or losing trades. Just be ready for it too, because there are some traders that actually cannot accept that. It's an inevitable part of trading process of this business. Also, your expenses will include the notion spread and other commissions and charges. I know I said that I will do the presentation by simple words, but actually they're slang that you have to get used to. Maybe here are some people who know these words very well, so they're experienced traders already. You will get, you will understand all these notions and concepts step by step. So don't worry about that. Don't worry if you don't understand spread or whatever. You will know it. Okay, so anyway, you have to be ready that you have to make some commission or charges for the banks, for the brokers, and they're also the part of expenses that you spend on Forex. And of course, as we are talking about trading and online trading, you're going to need a laptop or a computer or PC, whatever, and internet connection. So if you don't have it, you have to spend some money on it. So maybe listening to these examples, you have already drawn the line between the traditional business and Forex business, and you understand the differences between these two. But nevertheless, we will come back to that later. So this is the topic of our further conversation. Of course, you need to understand the main source of expenses, losing trades. We come back to that. No matter how hard you try, and they will be anyway. But this is the thing that most traders have to be ready for before they start trading, before they accept the notion Forex trading is my business, as their own. So get ready for it. Okay? And the reality of exchange trading, actually you can't exclude losing trades. No matter how hard you try, neither Forex nor traditional business cannot lose it. They will always have it. What are we going to do about it? So in traditional business, there are lots of advices and risky situation, but in Forex, thanks, we have how to do and what to do about it. To execute your trade with positive balance, actually, you need to make sure that your winning trades cover the losing ones. It's very simple, very easy. Actually, in order to see the profitability of that business and understand it is profitable, it really brings me money. You can achieve it, of course, if you have necessary knowledge for trading. By the way, I'm talking about different educational courses and webinars, maybe like that, or like follow me in the future. For those who have just started this business, but also for those who are experienced traders as well. And if you want to look at yourself, not only like a trader, but a person who actually invests money in this business, so you are an investor, you can build an investment portfolio. What is it, investment portfolio? Our managers in the office, I'm sure, will be gladly to answer questions, so you can consult them anytime. Next. Okay, so we are going to differences. Do you remember I have mentioned that I will come back to that later? So this is the time actually. Profitability and opportunities for the financial markets are equal or even higher than the same characteristics in the traditional business. Let's compare these two types of businesses, the financial market and the traditional business, and study the advantages of the first one. Okay, so minimum startup capital. It is true, total true. Actually, trading Forex, you can start out from even $150 US. For the beginning, it's enough if you're a novice trader. Maybe it's actually not serious sum of money for experienced trader. But if you make your first steps, maybe this sum of money will be enough for you. Considering that live business or traditional business, or if you are entrepreneur, we are talking about minimum $1,000 US, and I don't think it's enough in our times, in our days actually, these days. Next, you can work from home or in the office, like me, actually, and this part I like most of all. You can work from any part of the world. You can even sit next to the beach. The only condition is you have laptop or PC, or nowadays, 21st century, you can enter the market through or via the mobile phone. And of course, you need internet connection. Next, you don't need any employees. If you're a businessman or entrepreneur, you understand that you can't do all the job alone. You need people who help you. In this business, you don't need them. And you don't need to pay them salary. You don't need to control them. You don't need to pay their sick leaves and worry about the job that they're doing and how hard they try actually for your business. Next, you don't need to make any reports, monthly, quarterly, yearly, I don't know, but in my country, actually entrepreneurs have a big headache making these reports every month. There is no physical product, as I have mentioned, and that can go bad or spoil. This is very important. And actually the trader operates with virtual currency, commodity, metal, and actually operates virtual products, but he earns real money. What is actually very, very good in this case. The profitability of trading can be from 10 to even 100% per month, or even higher. Tell me please, in which traditional business you can get or which traditional business is guaranteed to you to get this high profit. Maybe if it's widespread, in this case. But we are talking about percentage that actually can happen to you even if you are trading first months. So even stable 10% of profit a month is better than losing months for entrepreneurs when there is no salary of their products. There are some notions like dead season, when there is no business circulation, when the process of trading is very stagnated, you can't get any profit. So actually you don't have it in Forex market. Also, Forex doesn't have a vacation, and market is liquid 5 days a week, not 7 but 5, and all year round. It doesn't have dead seasons at all. The exceptions, maybe 2 weeks before New Year and 1 week later, when actually the financial institution has to make yearly reports. They also have reports. Okay, also trader doesn't have to be in the market all the time. If you're an entrepreneur or a traditional businessman, you know how much time you actually give to your work. Actually, you live your work. I don't know if you live your life, but you definitely live your work. So, and the Forex, it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Anytime, if you're tired, you can take a break. You can go somewhere, you can relax, you can spend some time with your family. You can dedicate this time to yourself, because every business has stresses. We'll come back to that later, and I will tell you about that. And there is time when we need to, maybe to be alone. Oh, maybe just have a little break to accumulate physical possibilities to move on. Trading can always be set aside, can be postponed, and you can return to it later. You can't postpone your traditional business. Actually, without you, it stops working. But of course, in Forex, market will change, prices will change. If you enter the market like from big break, so you will see absolutely different situation on the market. But actually, if you have a strategy, trading strategy, or you have some trading rules that you developed for yourself, and they are working, and they proved to be working very good, so they continue to work no matter what situation on the market is, no matter how many changes happen there. So it's still working, you can still use it and get the previous profits or maybe higher as before. Let's move on. So these are differences between the two actual businesses, and definitely you see the advantage of the Forex. Also, no vacation, as I have mentioned. Market all the time, all year round. Trading can be set aside. What about leverage? Leverage, yes, this is an instrument that can actually increase your potential profit. There is no such notions in traditional business, actually. So what about education? I need to mention that any business needs an education. Like entering a new market, it's like entering some, sphere with different language. First time you don't understand a word, so you need to learn that language. You need to learn that notions. You need to learn the rules and concepts that you will need making business. So education is very important when you start Forex, or even if you're experienced traders. Sometimes it happens that actually you need a break or you need a refreshment. So all your strategies that you had before, they stopped working, so you need new ones. So that's why education is a process that we have all our life. And by the way, our company have some different courses. So you can be educated, you can receive the education course in a group, or it can be individual. Individual, it's very good one because actually you can choose a suitable time for you. Of course, then for mentor, and it's happening online. So you have to be present physically in some office, anytime in front of your PC. So with a mentor that has actually a strategy, especially for you, for your process of trading, for your knowledge, for your experience on that market. No matter if you're a novice trader or experienced one. What else? You can always consult the managers in our office, and they will be glad to answer your questions regarding any questions about this business. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about liquidity. Actually, maybe every one of you, I'm sure that most every one of you heard this word liquidity. And in comparison, liquid, not so liquid, what does it mean? So I would like to say that every one of you maybe heard the phrase, the Forex is the most liquid market in the world. What is it, liquidity? Let's talk about it. The availability of liquidity in the financial markets has many advantages. So the most liquid market in the world is Forex. Why? Actually, it's international business. So a lot of countries, a lot of people are involved in it. It works 24 hours a day. It's very important, without breaks. It's possible. What makes it possible? It's possible because a lot of stock exchanges and markets from all over the world take part in this process. While one party is sleeping on the one part of our world, actually the other is trading. So this is how the shifting of the participants in this market take place. And who are these participants of the market? Actually, they are governments, major banks, insurance companies, hedge and mutual funds, investment houses, etc., etc., etc. Of course, individual investors who either trade on their own accounts, or actually individual investors who have professionals to trade for them, also take part in this business. And all these institutions either exchange currencies on the basis of their internal needs, or make exchanges based on their speculative purposes. In any case, the volume of orders in these financial institutions can be without any doubts considered enormous. And these are organizations that have constant need in quick and profitable currency exchange. So that's why Forex is so liquid. More and more investors pay their attention to Forex, wishing to take part in this global process and make money in it. As a common trader and speculator can't sometimes afford themselves to use big volumes, meaning big money for trading, they can get an access to this market through brokers or brokerage companies that combine different orders of common traders like you and me into big amounts of orders, which makes it possible for us to trade without paying any attention on the volumes that are involved. And high liquidity of the market allows you to sell the volume. Actually talking about liquidity. To sell the volume of your trading instrument anytime. So we understand that Forex market is cool. But what liquidity does in this particular market? Liquidity describes, what is liquidity anyway, as a concept, as a notion? Liquidity describes the degree to which an asset can be quickly liquidated. So, liquidated, liquidity, and see the connection. That is availability of supply and demand. These are two notions that you need to know also in this business. Example, let's imagine that you have, for example, iPhone, and you need to sell it. As iPhone is a very popular asset, it's quite easy to sell it. And pay your attention. You don't have to lower price critically. So, a lot. Why? You sell it quickly, and I have no doubt in it. Thus, we come to the conclusion. iPhone is very liquid asset. It's easy to sell, it's easy to buy. Why? Because there are a lot of sellers and buyers in the markets. Now imagine, in comparison, that you have, for example, some old computer, like Fujitsu Siemens. This company does not exist anymore, actually. Some of your potential buyers will ask you, what's Fujitsu, I don't think it will be very easy for you to sell this computer. Most likely, if you want to sell it anyway, you'll have to reduce the price, and you reduce it a lot. Is this computer a liquid asset? I don't think so, and definitely not. There are sellers like you, maybe people who have this computer also, but the quantity of buyers in the market is reduced. So let's come back to the actually currency market. And first, liquidity reflects the interest of the market players both in absolute number of traders and in the trading volumes for a certain period of time. Meaning, highly liquid market is characterized by the presence of large amount of supply and demand. The higher the market liquidity, the faster you can liquidate the large positions. Forex is often mentioned as the most liquid market, and in average, to prove it, I will tell you that a daily turnover of the Forex is more than nowadays $5 trillion. Daily turnover. So these actually numbers are saying for themselves. How to make Forex profitable? Let's talk about how to become a successful trader and make the above mentioned balanced on your order, on your account positive. It was said that you have to make sure that your winning trades actually compensate the losing ones. I will tell you two ways how to make it possible. First one, you need to have high availability of winning trades in comparison with the losing ones, meaning to have a working strategy which proved to be working perfectly for a long period of time. Use it. Second, you need to earn in the winning trade much more than you lose in negative one. These processes are regulated with the help of the notions like risk and money management. So these are notions actually that very detailed processes and require total understanding. And of course, knowing how they work, how to apply them, how actually make them to serve you. For what? For your profit. For big and excellent trading. Most successful traders will agree that therein too is much easier. It happens because of their ratio, profit and risk. And if we can make ratio 2 to 1, that is, in every profitable trade you earn has to be twice more than a losing one, you need to make only, if you calculate it, 35 or 40% of winning trades to have decent earnings. And most successful traders don't pay much attention actually to the profitable trades. They are focusing on the ratio, profit, risk. Even if they have some negative trades, anyway, they will have it. I told you that. The less quantity of positive, bigger quantity of negative, less quantity of positive or winning ones, it will compensate everything. That's why most traders stick to the rules, to follow ratio 3 to 1, 5 to 1, to compensate on their losses. Okay, it's important to understand that for a good trade you don't have to be always right. You know, maybe some people think that I'm not smart enough or I can do that calculation, something like that. You can be wrong most of the times, but in the end, you get your profits. Okay, we have learned actually the main concepts and how to make Forex your own business, how much you can earn there. Actually, no. We need to know how much we can earn there, and what we can count on. Successful traders spend most of their time developing their own professional skills, actually working on themselves, not searching the, holy grail. If you have a trading strategy or rules that prove to be working, stick to them. They will continue to work for you and bring you profit. But what you need to do is, the key rule is actually to stick to that rule, not to break it, not to enter the market, as I told before, as a casino. Don't treat it like that. Market doesn't like it, actually. Of course, you will have to suffer a lot of stresses. Everybody does. Anywhere. It's our life. We are live people. And of course, sometimes you will lose control. And it will seem to you that you lose control in everything that you do. But first thing that you need is discipline. So work on it. And of course, to make this process, crisis, not so painful and reduce the time of actually suffering this, you can always consult the professional. You can use someone's professional knowledge. It's actually nowadays much easier than just spend your time watching scam videos on YouTube when they're trying to get your like or just attract your attention. So you need to understand that not all of them are actually true and they are working 100%. So always consult the professionals. And at the beginning, people ask, does it really work? Is it really true what they say about Forex? So let's understand and let's consider two variants of your place, actually who you see you are in this process, in this global process like Forex. Let's look at Forex from the point of view of a trader, it's variant number 1, and the point of view of the investors, variant number 2. Okay, Forex trader is a common speculator, actually, just making money on the fluctuation of the prices of the rates of the currencies, buy cheaper, sell more expensive, and sometimes vice versa. That is a mental work, actually, but I will highlight this word. It's a work. Anyway, from the investor's point of view, where he can choose interesting strategies or good traders, and actually he builds an investment portfolio. It's like not a work, but like a business and a passive income. So trading is not necessarily a work, meaning it's more like to invest and get a profit. And maybe with a pleasure, with joy, with good mood, positive attitude towards it, and spending not so much time on it. Actually, there can be different types of profitability. And look at this chart. I'm going to show you and to share you how this happens actually. You can see from this chart that there are months when the percentage is very high. For example, February or January. But there are some also months when the percentage is not so high. So it happens because there is first different situation in the market, and second, it depends on how much time you spend on trading. Maybe you were fully occupied with some other businesses and you don't pay much attention to Forex. So in this case, you don't have a lot of profitable trades and your volume, your percentage is not so high. So like any other business, you have to pay much attention to what you are doing, how much time you spend, and how good knowledge, which good knowledge you have, and how serious it is for you. And I'm sorry, but our time is up. So now it's time for me to say goodbye, and thank you for all your attention, and I hope I will see you next Wednesday, the same time as I mentioned before. And you can find us here at the same time, the same place. It was a pleasure to have you here, and I hope it was interesting and informative for you. Bye-bye.